So honored to have her today. So Sarah, take it away.
Okay. Well, hello everybody. Good afternoon.
Good
Today,
afternoon. Yeah.
today is Wednesday, and we are so glad that you join us. And we will have a very good conversation today. We have my good friend Debbie Hutchinson, and Debbie. I known Debbie for a few years now, and I respect her a lot. So before we get into a conversation, let us
Do a quick intro.
yeah do a quick intro for each of us. And let me. Why don't you start, Lee?
Okay. All right. So my name is Lee Tran. In case you haven't met me for the last 2.5 months, I'm here with Sarah every day, and our conversation is pretty much about our history, a little bit about our history, how we got through what we did as a refugee back then 40 years ago. So my route was escaping the communists back in 1979 was through a boat, and hence that we were called boat people, because I'm sure you, if you're old enough, you probably heard a lot about boat people back in the 80s from Vietnam. So I am Chinese, born in Vietnam, grew up really fast in America, and now I am just slow down and taking the time and go back in time and trying to figure out things, understand my history by writing my memoir. I did have a TEDx talk last year, so there's plenty about me that you can look up if you are interested in. My website is leatran.com, leatran.com.
Awesome. And I'm Sarah M. Um, a lot of you know me, and I wrote my book 5 years ago. It's called How I Survived the Killing Field. So that title gives you a little bit hint about me because I did survive that horrible experience in Cambodia back in the 70s. But I managed to stay alive and escape, and then eventually escaped out from Cambodia and found my way to United States 40 years ago. And my journey has been, a lot of struggle, but finally, finally, I found that um, during our struggle, we learn a lot. And that's what this conversation is about, is to share what our struggle has been and how we can help other people. You don't have to go through what we have been. So that's a little bit about me, and I'd like you to meet my good friend, Dr. Debbie Hutchinson. Debbie?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, yes, and I just got my doctorate literally last month.
Oh,
So
congratulations.
I'm thankful that that's done with. This is actually a second career for me. I was in the mortgage industry for 17 years and owned a mortgage company for 9 years. And probably about 14 years ago, my son got really sick. And I thought, unfortunately, I thought that conventional medicine was going to kill him if I didn't help him because of all of the medications and everything that he had him on, or they had him on. And so I was a desperate mom to get help for my son. So I just began that journey. I didn't have a degree to begin with. So I literally started with my bachelor's and then went to my master's, and now I finished my doctorate. And,
Wow.
I have my company. It's called Turning Tides. The website is, turningtides.us if you want to check that out. But yeah, so that's why I'm here. And, we're going to have a wonderful talk today. And I'm very excited to be able to share with you all.
Well, thank you. That's very admirable. Going back to school just to help solve and help your son. That is has a lot of patience there too, because it's not instantly that you can see what you can reap out of your college or your degrees education yet. But at least it gives you a lot of path people that you can talk to, I suppose.
Right. And Leah, probably just like you too, Sarah and yourself, it was a lot of blind faith, not really knowing and understanding the path and the process and everything. But, of course, it was definitely not what you guys have been through. Definitely not comparing it to, that. But I think that, on anybody's journey that they take in life, just in general, every day we wake up in blind faith, right?
Yeah.
And so I know our topic today is stress. So everybody can face their day, their blind faith day, either in a stressful mindset or a mindset that, just believing that at the end of the day that they're going to be able to be their best and do their best.
Definitely.
Yeah, I believe that stress is really hard to put a measuring thing to it, because for somebody's stress is not able to go to the shore, and somebody's stress is not having food on the table. So there's all different kind of level of stress, and how we take that stress is upon us, not so much about the thing, but if it's all different perspective.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, because here I am, I sit here and I say mortgage company and now I'm a doctor. But, even between, we didn't always have money or whatever, but even between the mortgage company and the doctor, losing everything and finding ourselves almost homeless and standing in food bank lines and stuff like that, so I totally know what that stress is like. But even so, and I think you guys could probably agree with me, even so, even when you're in that situation, it's really about the mindset that you have, knowing that there is a better day, right?
Yeah.
And believe in that. And that will also, even though it's very, very, very stressful, it can definitely help lower that stress load and stress level. Even though you're in the midst of the dire circumstances that,
Right.
that we've all faced.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sometimes we don't really know that there is a stress. When I was young, when I was struggle through the communist regime, I had no idea what the stress is. But I would just do it one day.
You just deal with it.
Right. You just trudge through, right? The best that you can.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
1 hour at a time sometimes.
Sometime
Yeah.
you look back now, it's like, how on earth did I do that?
Oh my goodness. Many times I've thought that myself.
But whatever it was, we're glad we did it, because I would do it all over again just to have today.
That's right.
Knock on wood that I have to do it over.
So what keep us
True.
going? What keep us going? For me, it's my love for my family. That I have that goal waiting for me. I'm going to get there. So that's keep me going, keep me breathing one day after day, and struggle in the heat in the work camp. So that's what kept me going. I never give up that hope.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think yours is
whatever that
tough.
stress, it, it,
Okay, I think we are losing your
yeah, look at it.
connection.
It something to look forward. Yeah, it tells me that my connection is weak.
Right. You were really slow, and then all of a sudden you're so fast. I don't know, you hear, Debbie?
Yes, I heard you were on slow motion, Sarah. It was all drawn out. I have no idea what you just said.
So Debbie, is there a tip, or is there a way that how people can de-stress in when they're in like a really dire situation, like if they have a loved one that is being sick, like you had?
Yes.
And did your son ever get well? Did you find the answer? Tell us a little more.
Nothing is ever perfect, right? But he is definitely a whole lot better than what he was way back when. And I have to come to the conclusion now, because he's a lot older, of course. He was a teenager back then, and now he's 31. So I had to come to the conclusion is mom can't save him, right? And trying to save someone that is sick, for however they're sick, whether it's an addiction or mental health or physical problem or whatever, that can bring on a lot of stress itself, right?
Yeah.
So You know, really the only thing that I could do is just pray and believe that there was going to be a better day for him. And with me just making that conscious decision myself, it really released me from a lot of stress, you know,
Mhm.
because it can be a very scary thing, especially when it's your kid that's sick, right? And
Yeah.
nobody seems to be able to figure it out or help them. So I have a lot of faith in that, you know, just knowing that it was a better day. And, you know, and even in those times where it was a really big struggle and the stress was very great, um, I would just do a lot of visualization and just believe and dream. You know, my husband and I, we would go to open houses and look at different houses when we literally were almost homeless. And we would go sit in cars that we wanted. And not that, okay, so that sounds very materialistic, and we're not materialistic people. But you know what? It's a good feeling to be able to have nice things, right?
I think you're
So,
just brilliant because you just put a distraction into your
yes,
stress.
yes. But that told me that, you know, that is possible. You know, just because you're in a really bad situation right now, that doesn't mean that that's going to be like that tomorrow.
Right.
And believe me, this went on for 7 or 8 years. And I know that you guys can, you know, you ladies can really relate to this because you wake up every day and you think, okay, is my suddenly going to happen today? Is it going to be different today? Is my answer going to come today? You know, and you just hope every single day. Well, one day it finally did. It took it 7 years, but it finally did. And just like with you guys were finally released. You were able to walk away from all of that, right? But when you're going through those types of things, it's really hard to see your way out of it. And it's almost like you're
Yeah.
in a straitjacket.
And
You know, you
I
can't
think
get out of it, no matter what you do.
no, I think that's the very critical because when you're at the rock bottom of the ocean or the river or something, you gotta make sure you reach up for that branch. You gotta look up. That's the only way, or else you're gonna drown down if you don't look up. Even if you have to create a fantasy for yourself, make
Yes.
believe that you're going to be out of that crisis. And I think that the second thing, add on to your thing, I believe it's really important to have a routine that
Yeah.
you're following. Make sure that that routine is stable, because when you're stressed because things are in the panic modes, in the chaotic mode,
Mhm.
and you don't have anything stable, so creating a routine would calm things down a little bit, don't you think?
Absolutely. So, you know, what I always tend to think about is, you know, the first step maybe that somebody can take is just to address the stress. But, you know, but sometimes when you're stuck in a situation, you
Yeah.
can address that stress all day long and you're still stressed, you know, because of the circumstances. So maybe just creating an environment the best that you can, like maybe journaling. I did a lot of journaling, gratitude journaling. I didn't forget what I was grateful for. You know, that is so very important in the
Yeah.
process of releasing stress, whether you're stuck in a situation or just if you're stuck in traffic. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you've got to figure out ways to be able to help yourself, right? um, Move your body is really important. Exercise and walk in, ride a bike, do whatever you can do to get your mind off of the circumstance that you're in
Right.
right then and there. And you know, obviously I'm a functional medicine nutritionist, so I'm going to tell you to optimize the nutrition the best that you can. Now, listen, I just said a few minutes ago that we were standing in the food bank lines. Food bank lines don't have organic food in them, okay? I'm going to tell you. And but you just take what you can do and just do the best that you can. So, you know, just try to do the best that you can with your nutrition.
Yeah, I
So,
think whatever it is, just do not get all this greasy and all the sweet, just things that make you sluggish, things that don't give you the good energy type of energy. So it doesn't have to be organic. I mean, I mean, I know organic can be pricey.
mhm,
Not everybody can afford organic,
right.
but you come home, you peel the skin away, the carrots, you soak it in certain things, just wash it out and peel the skin away. It's just as good. But I think the bottom line is eat more vegetable and less
Yes.
deep fried and greasy, because sometimes fast food can be like, such a solution. It's cheap and it's fast and just get it over with. But you end up
Yeah,
Being a lot
absolutely.
worse than you're coming from. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's the key. Just get your vegetables. Try to do that as much as you can and stay away from all of the processed foods because our immune system definitely will impact the quality of our health and have an impact on our stress life too. And so maybe some people don't know this, maybe they do, but not probably about 80% of our immune system is in our digestive system. So if we're not feeding our digestive system properly, we're going to have breaks in the system, right? We're going to have little leakages in the system that things can get through and really cause inflammation, and that can also be a burden on our stress level as well.
And it can
So
make you
just
insomnia. And that's another big ticket. We were just talking about that last week. Not enough sleep is another way that not able to generate your cells, your new growth of the new cells, right?
right, and that regeneration time is really important. It's between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. So the best time frame to go to sleep is between like 10 o'clock and 6 o'clock. That is really the optimal time for
I got
sleep.
about 3 days of that, and then now I'm slipping back to 11 something, 12 o'clock. I was like, I gotta make sure I do put everything's away by 10 o'clock. But yeah, you are absolutely right, because you think you go to
Mhm.
bed late and you get up late, but you're still getting up very exhausted.
That's
If you
right.
got, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you called a different name. I think who was it last week?
Lori, Lori.
Yeah, Laurie called circadian time.
Yeah. Mm.
You called what the name that you called just now?
Who, me
Yeah,
or Sarah?
you.
The restorative sleep, restorative restoration time frame is, for our body
Yeah,
to
you just
regenerate
have a different
everything.
name to that from
The
10 to,
restorative,
Yes.
yeah.
yeah, that restorative time
Mhm.
frame is between 10 and 2. I think that's what I said. That's usually what I
Right.
say is restorative time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or whatever it
Because we
is.
want to regenerate, right? We want to
Mhm.
regenerate everything and
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 that's how
uh,
we
allow it to heal.
right. Absolutely right. I think that's when our immune system, our new cells grow when you sleep, when we replenish our generate new cells, new healthy cells.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um, it
that's
it
right.
it never grow old. It's like you heard it, you know about it, and you try for a couple of days, maybe a week, and then it slide back to the old time. It is all about bad habit. It's all about bad habit.
It's really
It
hard to
is. It
unlearn.
sure is.
It's hard to
Well,
unlearn the bad habit.
it is. It takes a mindset shift, right? It
Yeah.
takes a mindset shift, and sometimes it's easier said than done. And even with my own clients, I work on that with them because in order to be able to be healthy and do the things that we need to do through the process of getting them healthy, you got to let go of some of those bad habits and really focus on a mindset shift.
Yeah, I
But I
think it's
want
a cycle things too. For me, those are the most productive time
to.
because it's quiet. I am like full of energy around 10, and then it's really bad.
I understand. Now, listen, I just got through with my doctorate, right? So I did a lot of my work at night. And sometimes I wouldn't even go to bed till 1 or 2 o'clock. So, but I could
Yeah.
feel it, through the whole process of all of
Hmm.
that. And,
Hmm.
and I mean, I still have issues with that because I just don't do mornings very well. I don't even exercise in the morning. I never in my entire life have I ever exercised in the morning. I just can't do it. So I usually do that around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that in the evening.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, well, I'd be awake with doing that, but really it actually does help me kind of like get my head straight and do what I need to do, and then go, and I sleep really well once I go to
Yeah.
to go.
I miss my Zumba. I used to go to Zumba and
Did you do
get
that in
myself
the evening?
exhausted, and then
Did
I
you
can
do that in
sleep.
the evening?
I
Um,
usually do it around 6, 7 o'clock. That's
in
what
the
my Zumba class is.
mhm.
And it still gives you a couple hours. Then I'll go shower and I'll just sit down and do some work until like 10, 11, 12.
Mhm.
But then I can sleep better when I do walking or Zumba or some sort of exercise.
Yes, me too. So that's so
Right.
important.
So we got diet, we got sleeping, we got
Journaling,
journaling,
relaxation, we got to do that.
meditation, relaxation.
So how about how does people relax? You know, there's so many different things that we can do with that, right? We can go outside. We can just if you just go outside because you know sunlight is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unprotected sunlight between maybe 10 and 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
20 minutes is all you need. It really does help with increasing the vitamin D levels, which is super important, for our stress levels as well, and our digestive system, and a lot of other things, regarding our health. Um, but it also, just allows us to be able to be in nature, and it really just brings a level of stress relief when we are outside in the grass. And when you go outside, taking off your shoes and literally putting your
Feel it.
feet in the ground, I bet you anything. When you guys were little, y'all didn't have shoes, right? We didn't have. I mean, we had shoes. You
I
probably
have
had shoes,
shoes. I
but
have shoes. Like I live in the city and I don't live in the grass, so I have to wear shoes all the time.
well, what I'm saying is, when you were little, I know when I was little, we didn't hardly ever wear our shoes. We always went barefooted. And so we did grounding back then, the grounding technique, earthing, whatever you want to
Uh-huh.
call it. And we didn't even know we were doing it, but we hardly ever got sick,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And so now I think that when you go outside, just take your shoes off, walk in the grass, walk in the sand,
And I
ground
have
I
yourself.
don't know about Florida or St. Augustinian grass. They're not like grass in Pennsylvania. Grass down here is tough and not that easy to walk. But I'm telling
Are you
you,
in
just
Florida too?
I am in Florida. I am in Claremont.
Okay.
One thing I know is Asians always take off their shoes in their home. And
Mm.
barefoot.
and in Vietnam, sometime when we go to the bedroom, we have to take off our shoes um, in our bedroom. And here in my house, we have tile floor, and I like to do that too. Just walk barefoot. So that somehow kind of it's not grass, not nature, but at least it ground you to something. Tile
Well,
floor.
that's right. So I hardly ever wear shoes, hardly ever wear shoes anywhere. I mean, of course, if I go to the grocery store or something, I have to, but it's just the whole practice of the grounding and really just centering
Yeah.
yourself in the environment. Um, and if you're close to the beach, which
Mhm.
most of us are, right, or some body of water, just go there and be there because that's also very calming. If you're in Florida, if you're somewhere else, go to the mountains, go out in the
Oh
woods,
God.
or
Florida
whatever.
is a blessing because you can get to nature so easily. Yeah, people say it's hot. Yes, it's hot, but you know you don't have to shovel snow, and you can do so many things. You can jump into the pool. You can cool yourself off in so many ways.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right.
one thing I like to add, I'm
What's
sure
that?
you probably have it too. I want to say laughter.
Oh my gosh, yes, I do. I have that written down too. Yes,
Laughter.
that's
I
the
think
best medicine.
yes. I think, let me see. I was trying to find Les Brown. I heard him say something about, every minute you laugh, how many minutes of things that you get for de-stressing. I have written it somewhere. I can't remember where, but I think laughter is one of the biggest thing. Tell joke, do laughing yoga.
Mhm.
I did go to laughing yoga when I was in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
And or talking silly, be silly with your family, friends. A good
You
laugh
know,
can actually, yeah.
absolutely. They've actually got laughing apps that you can download.
Oh,
So I
really?
think the best laughter is a baby's laughter. I
Oh,
love it.
yeah.
I mean, that can make you happy. I mean, you can just Google baby
I
laughs. If you
know.
feel
Well,
down, just Google baby laughs.
I think I have some of the video from my son when he was little. Oh my
Hmm.
God, he tries so hard to make people laugh because he's just a he's just an adore happy baby, and he loves to make people laugh. So he would go like And I have to dig out those videos.
And
And
even what is it, Purnell? Is it Purnell Williams that has the happy song? I think it's Purnell that has the
I don't
happy
know.
song. Anyway, you could Google it. It's funny. I love it. It's a
Yeah.
happy song. So,
Well,
and the
what's
other thing too is, breathing techniques are really important. Like if somebody's stuck in traffic, or if somebody's child is having a meltdown and you're trying not to have a meltdown because your child's having a meltdown, breathing techniques are very, very important, and they can definitely lower your stress level. I do this thing called heart math, and with my clients, and it's really centering the heart connection and the brain connection. We talk a lot about the gut brain connection, right? But we never really think about the heart and brain connection. And I know that when my son got sick, before I even knew any of this, I used to tell him, don't listen to what's going on in your brain, because that will lie to you every time. And a lot of times when in stressful situations, we tend to get all wrapped up in our thinking and everything. And it just makes it worse, because
yeah.
90% of what we're conjuring up in our heads never even happen. So what I would tell him was, don't listen to your head, listen to your heart, because really that's where the truth lies, right? In our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And matter of fact, heart math, the technique that I use, there's a lot of scientific evidence that there's a big connection between the heart and the brain as well.
Mm.
It's pretty
That's
fascinating.
interesting. It's called heart math.
Heart math, yeah.
Heart.
And
Okay.
matter of fact, they offer it for free, and I offer it for free to all of our veterans and their families. So there's
Okay.
a whole thing there that we can do for the veterans,
Yeah.
with their PTSD, because PTSD,
Right.
which is another very high level of stress, right?
Yeah.
Beyond that, really. But if we had to describe it in some logical way for people to understand, it doesn't just impact that person that has the PTSD. It impacts the entire family, community, and nation. It
Right.
really does.
I would say just get a group of girlfriends and just sit and yap and have fun and just tell jokes and read funny stories to each other.
Right. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because that's on my list as well, is that community. And what have we all been doing here in the last unfortunate couple of months is
I know.
isolation. And isolation is just really bad. Do you know that there
Yeah.
is more pharmaceutical, mental health, or emotional medication that has been handed out, or, prescribed in the last 2 months?
Yeah, I
More than,
bet.
has definitely gone up.
Yeah.
And even suicide and things like that. So that is a really important thing. People are just so stressed in this time frame.
Well, we're human. We created as a pack. We want to be gathered, and now we're being stranded, and not everybody have that capability to jump on Zoom, and that's the thing. Not everybody has a computer with a camera or with internet even. So yeah, usually it impact a lot of places that we don't even see because
Right. Right.
yeah.
Absolutely. But you know what? Just remember when we first started to talk, and I talked about our mindset shift, right? And visualizing different things that we, of a better day. So instead of, being in this situation and being in a destitute state of mind, we can actually turn that around and say, hey, what can I do? What can I do to come closer to my family? There are more families cooking now. There are more
Yeah.
families planting gardens.
Yeah.
There's more family preparing meals together and literally sitting at the dinner table now, and that's such an important piece of our community, and being social with each other, even in our family
Right.
unit, and playing games. And, there is so
We've done
many
plenty
things
of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
great time.
yes, it is. So instead of, getting wrapped up with the circumstance, just see what you can do that's good and positive. Because, us as adults, when we have little kids and we're in these circumstances, they're watching us, right? We might not realize it, but
Yeah.
the stress that we feel is being, passed down basically to them and passed on to them in that circumstance. So it's just really important to.
Yeah, I think that people should think of this an opportunity for them to have extra time to bond with each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, we always complain that we don't have time to do things with our spouse, our kids, our friends. I mean, granted that we can't really do physically things with our friends right now, but it's the perfect time to Zoom in, call in if you can, keep in touch with other people. And that would not just cheering you up, but it's going to tell you that you're not alone. Everybody's
Right.
in it together.
That's right. Everybody is going through this. Nobody is singled out, you know.
Yeah.
And some of us are not, the struggle isn't there like some others, you know, and God help them, because I know that it's a very, very difficult thing for some people right now.
Right. Right.
Yeah, financially, everything, you know.
Oh,
And the whole system is just all messed up. So
and
that's
we
not
have to
helping.
trust and we have to have faith that we're going to come out of this a lot stronger.
Yeah.
If you are looking into opportunity, I think you're going to come out prepared. You're going to come out knowing what you want to do, because this is opportunity to be different, to
Yes.
start something new.
Right. Do you know a lot of businesses and a lot of ideas and things like that come out of people that were in a destitute situation, right?
Yeah.
And so, but one of the other things too that I would like to mention, and I think that everybody may be able to participate in something like this to add, you know, to an added benefit to help lower stress, is if you have a bathtub, get some Epsom salt. Epsom salt really is
Mm.
not that expensive. It has
Bubble bath.
magnesium.
Yes.
Well, the bubble bath actually has like chemicals in it, so we don't want to promote
Oh,
that so much.
okay.
But the Epsom salt is got,
Uh-huh.
it has the magnesium in it, so it's going to help you lower the stress level and
Right.
relax your muscles and be able to relax. So, I mean, optimally, I would like for you to put maybe some lavender or
Mm.
peppermint or something like that in your water too. But if you could
Oh, it sounds so good already.
yes, but if somebody could just get the Epsom salt, that's better than
You know
nothing.
what? I've got a couple gift from my sister. It's called bath bombs. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to dig it out.
Hmm. Yeah, and some of those are made really, you know, some of those can be a little bit toxic, but some of those are made very clean. So they have,
Hmm.
you know, essential oils instead of using the chemical perfumes and things
Yeah.
like that. So they're very, very good things to do. Hmm.
Yep. I think that there's plenty of tips there to help everyone at least pick one or two from Dr. Debbie Hutchinson's tip, and go do it and have fun. Go
Yeah.
get some laughter.
Hmm.
Call up a friend. Play
If,
game with your family. Call
if,
us if you want to.
yeah,
Call Sarah.
That's right. So when you guys do this every Wednesday, correct? Every
We do
Wednesday?
it every day.
Oh, every day. Oh,
but,
wow. What a gift. This
yeah,
is awesome. I didn't realize you guys did this every day. Wow. Well, this would be a really good place for people to commune, you know, and really learn some really awesome things and just connect with people.